Welcome to Kapwa Filipino Indigenous Voices, the Indigenous Path Foundation podcast. If you're passionate about learning from Indigenous knowledge or value their wisdom, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, we identify, explore, and celebrate Indigenous knowledge that continues to guide and inspire all of us. In each episode, we engage with individuals who embody Indigenous knowledge. In today's episode, we are very fortunate to have with us Edward Landslide Fulayang. You know him? He is very well known. Kilala natin siyang lahat at siya ang ating kampiyon. Siya ang makasaysayan at legendary na Indigenous warrior ng Cordillera. Kamusta Edward? Salamat sa pagpapaunlak sa imbitasyon ng IPATH na maging bahagi ka ng aming advocacy na alamin at ibahagi ang kaalaman natin, ang ating karunungan bilang Indigenous people. Thank you for your time. Kamusta?
Mabuti naman po.
Aha.
Thank you po sa pagkakataon. Salamat sa opportunity na may babahagi natin kung ano man yung knowledge na nasa sa atin dito sa podcast na ito.
Aha. Medyo intimidated ako Kasi parang ang tagal-tagal nating hindi nagkita, though it's been a year. We met last year, di ba? Pumunta kayo dito kasama mo si Joshua during your training. Pero parang, bakit kaya may konting kaba ako? Why is that? Let's check it off. So, bago siguro natin simulan yung ating pag-uusap ngayon, siguro, para lang mawala yung ating kaba, tawagin natin yung ating mga naunang mga maybe let's call in our ancestors maybe just to make us feel comfortable. Kasi alam natin na ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay tungkol sa iyo, pagbabahagi ng pagkatao mo. So pwedeng let's call in our ancestors. Kung sino ang gusto mong tawagan, yung mga nauna sa atin who transition into other life. Meron ka bang naisip? Like in my case, I would like to call in my father. Siya ang inspiration ng IPATH. Kaya meron tayong IPATH. I hope my father is here to join us in the conversation and animate this conversation.
Kahit naman tatawagin ko, wala na siya. Anyway, I am thankful sa mga ancestors natin, specifically sa akin, sa tatay ko, dahil through their sacrifices, through their hard work, yun, nagkaroon tayo ng pagkakataon para mabuhay, of course, and that's a very alam mo yun, napaka-importante dahil syempre wala tayo dito sa mundo kung wala yung mga sacrifices na ginawa nila para sa atin.
Yes. Ayan. Iba ang dating sa akin if I call in my ancestors. Parang I feel better. Parang nakakawala ng kaba. And thank you for calling in your father, si Apo. So, ngayon, ang gusto nating pag-usapan ay yung si Edward ay tinawag nilang the landslide. Bakit kaya tinawag kang landslide bilang fight name mo ay landslide? Kaya nakilala ka bilang ganon. Besides Edward Fulayang, they also know your name as the landslide.
Yung una kasing fight ko sa mixed martial arts as a professional, I think hindi kasi nila ini-expect na manalo ako, ganun. And then coming from a mountainous region na palaging nakikilala, lalo na kapag may mga dumating na bagyo or alam mo yun, tropical cyclone sa amin, palaging nagkakaroon ng landslide sa kalsada or syempre mabundok kasi. So, nung pumunta ako, nung naglaro ako tapos natalo ko yung former champion, I think that was way back in 2007. They never expect that, manalo ako through a landslide victory. Kaya yun, yun yung parang ibinigay sa akin na moniker dahil I was able to win in a landslide victory. So I think yun yung reason kaya nagkaroon sila ng idea to give me that moniker as the landslide.
And the landslide, ibig sabihin, nakarelate ka din. Kasi nga sabi mo, every time there is rainfall, heavy rainfall, typhoon, nagkakaroon ng landslide sa atin. Sabi mo, 2007 yan, nagkaroon ka ng landslide victory. Pero, ang alam ko, 15 years old ka ata nung una kitang makita eh. As a Philippine team ka ba? Or 17 years old ka nun? When you started?
16.
Oh, 16. Okay.
16 years old nung I decided to be, to join yung Philippine national team as a wushu athlete. So, yun yung unang sport talaga na kung saan na-represent ko yung nation natin into an international event. So, through wushu, isa siyang Chinese martial arts which includes kicking, punching, and a little bit of wrestling.
Okay. So, kasi nasabi ko na 6 years old ka noon kasi isang gabi na umuwi ako, sabi ng tatay ko, magbigay ka ng dumating yung lolo mo sa kabila, sabi niya. Dala niya yung pinsan mo, sabi niya. Nagpahilot ka ata sa ating healer kay Kumpapot sa Sadanga. So can you tell us about you and your father going back sa Sadanga to have yourself get healed by the one and only Kumpapot sa Sadanga? Pwede bang ikwento mo sa amin? Kasi alam nila si Landslide bilang Landslide is a very, very famous former one lightweight champion. But let's go back to that time when you were journeying with your father and you are going back to our community and you are representing the country at that very young age. Anong naalala mo at that time?
May injury ako that time on my left elbow. So, syempre napaka-importante talaga na alagaan mo yung katawan mo kasi andito ka sa sport na alam mo yun, it requires na wala kang iniinda kasi masigit na yung sport eh. So, yun, syempre as a parent talaga, alam ng mga magulang natin kung paano nila tinitreat yung mga ganong injuries, ganong mga nararamdaman nila on their time. And syempre si Apo Kumpapot kasi that time is very famous sa mga parang ortho ba kung sa modern na medicine natin o parang orthopedic doctor siya kasi magaling siya sa paghilot, magaling siya kung paano i-restore yung mga broken bones or basta kapag sa mga areas na kung saan yan, andyan yung buto, andyan yung mga dislocation, andyan yung mga injuries na kung saan minsan hindi nila napupunta sa ospital. And even yung hospital kasi sa Bontoc that time, kinukuha siya for his expertise eh. So, yun. We are
Pero,
related.
aha,
Mm.
aha. Pero hindi siya doktor, di ba? Siya
Hindi
ay
siya doktor,
aha,
pero magaling siya sa
traditional healer siya.
magaling talaga siya sa traditional healing.
Mhm, mhm.
And ang kagandahan pa kasi sa kanila, kaya makikita mo yung legitimacy ng kanilang gift ay they don't want you to pay them. Alam mo yun, ayaw nila na binabayaran mo sila, or gusto nila kung sakaling punta ka lang doon, kumuha ka ng either asukal, asin, or kumuha ka ng, alam mo yun, parang barter ba? Ay, hindi naman, pero it's just showing your appreciation dun sa gift na ibibigay nila sa iyo, especially if they've been able to help you dun sa injury mo. They don't require a money for that. Kapag nagbigay ka lang ng either mga needs na kinakailangan nila sa pang-araw-araw na buhay nila, halimbawa ng kukuha ka ng either meat or mga specific needs lang, and appreciated na nila yun.
So, galing sa ating kampiyon at legendary fighter, Edward Landslide Fulayang, ang sabi niya sa atin, ibinahagi niya na ang ating mga traditional healer, tandaan natin, traditional healer, ang sabi niya, pumupunta siya doon, nagpagamot siya, at hindi sila tumatanggap ng kahit na anumang bayad. Enough na sa kanila na mapasalamatan, at tinatanggap kong magbigay ka man ng asukal, asin, yung basic commodity ay
Basic commodities.
napakalaking bagay sa kanila. And yaan ang napaka-importanting tandaan natin sa ating community, na napakahalaga yung pagtulong natin ay wala nga namang bayad. And I remember, sabi din ng father mo, nanghihingi siya ng patudtud. It's a kind of a tea. Diba? Yung patudtud coming from our rice terraces. And then I'm not sure kung natatandaan mo na niluto na at ginawa niyang tea para sa iyong paggaling. Do you remember that?
Oo naman. Siyempre, it's their traditional way of healing. And talagang hindi siya synthetic. It's more on talagang nature, organic siya. So yun, I think it's their way talaga of healing through doon sa mga organic ways, para mapagaling yung kung ano mang mga nararamdaman. Siya.
Ang galing. Really, really impressive to learn about that. That once upon a time, you still remember. Do you still practice those traditional way of healing? Like, let's say, after your fight with Aoki, was that 2 weeks ago or a week ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Is there any traditional healing that you've undergone after that fight on your personal, yeah?
Hindi naman kasi masyadong naging masyadong mabilis yung naging laban eh.
Okay.
So, pero kung titignan kasi natin yung halos mga traditional ways na ginagawa natin noon, parang na-modernize lang. Parang yung mga paggamit ng hot bath, ganun. Yan, doon kasi sa Ili, doon sa province, syempre may hot spring doon. So, every time talaga na uuwi na yung mga farmers or yung mga nagtrabaho, they go into that para ma-relax sila. Para, alam mo yun, they can be able to go on again on another day na
Hard work.
ma-refresh sila or ma-rejuvenate yung katawan nila dun sa pagod na nakuha nila sa buong araw.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, that is amazing. So, ang susunod kong tanong ay ano ang naalala mong mga, sabihin na nating influence para maisipan mong maging martial artist? Talaga bang pangarap mong, isang araw gusto ko maging, wushu fighter, gusto ko maging, maging MMA fighter? Yan ba ay talagang
Ah,
pangarap mo noong, lumalaki ka? Kasi 16 years old ka is too early, 'di ba?
nung bata kasi kami, hindi naman anong tawag nito? Wala pa naman 'tong mixed martial arts na 'to. Pero may mga traditional games kasi kami nung mga bata kami. It's very physical. Ito yung palagi kong sinasabi. Gaya nung mga kinugtar, yun yung tinatawag naming parang taekwondo ba yung version niya ngayon. Sipaan.
Aha,
And
aha.
then may ginnabu, parang judo yung dating niya. O itutumba mo yung kalaban mo tapos ipipin mo siya. And then inub ba ganun. O ikikerry mo yung isang kalaro mo tapos tutumbahin mo yung kalaro mo na may binubuhat din. So I think may talagang indigenous sport din talaga kaming ginagawa when we are a kid. Kaya talagang medyo tough yung upbringing namin. And then of course yung influence ng media na pinapanood namin yung mga movies ni na Bruce Lee, ni na Jackie Chan. So it alam mo yun, you are doing physical sport and then you are watching yung ginagawa nila sa movie. So alam mo yun, parang it will goes into your mind na someday siguro gusto kong maging kagaya niya. So,
Aha, aha.
you never know yung hindi ko alam lang na alam mo yun, through
Mhm,
mixed martial arts, through martial arts, I was able to be in that position na ginagawa ng mga pinapanood ko lang dati.
mhm. So, ibig sabihin, influence ng pinanood mo, pero more on you playing with your
May
peers?
mga traditional games talaga,
Mhm.
mga indigenous games na ginagawa namin. Kasi syempre, you can feel it. Nararamdaman mo. So, alam mo na innate ng mga bata. You are very competitive with other kids and more na nabuboost yung yung will mo ba
Mhm.
to search more about the things that you like.
Mhm. So, ibig mong sabihin na meron ka talagang, innate na gusto mong i-discover, ano pa ba ang puwede kong, ilabas sa aking, kakayahan? So, did you ever, was it an easy journey for you to become an athlete? Let's say, ano yung mga challenges para ikaw ay napili bilang representative? Kasi alam ko merong, meets, 'di ba? Kailangang manalo ka sa, palaro, kailangang manalo ka sa karaa, bago ka pumunta sa national.
Mm.
So,
Yung
was it an easy journey for you to pass all those, stages? Because you're at
uh,
the very young age, you're already on the national level.
hindi. Kasi syempre, kapag nasa martial arts ka,
Mhm.
uh, hindi mo alam eh. Yung mahirap kasi sa amin, hindi mo alam kung paano yung direction mo. And as a kid, hindi mo alam eh. Kung paano ka maging, siguro yung tinatanong ko lang that time, paano kaya ako magiging isang member ng national team. And yun, in my age kasi medyo uh, parang nakakakitaan ka na talaga na may ability ka, may potential ka. So, yun, kudos din dun sa coach na nakakitaan talaga ako ng potential. So, I was winning in my competitions nung nasa mga kickboxing, mga regional tournaments.
Mhm.
So, alam mo yun, they really want yung mga younger athletes na magre-represent ng country someday. So, yun yung parang naging way ko. Yun yung parang naging way ko, especially nung nagre-recruit na sila ng mga susunod na maging
Player.
player.
Mhm, mhm.
Of course, hindi madali kasi syempre, as for me, yung mga parents natin gusto naman nila talaga makapagtapos tayo ng pag-aaral
That's right.
as much as
Mhm,
possible. Gusto nilang
mhm,
we pursue yung pag-aaral natin. But for me talaga, I I decided to be part of the national team.
mhm,
And when I
mhm.
decided to be part of that, talagang naisip ko na kapag tatapusin ko yung pag-aaral ko sa college, then I will be the one to make a way for me to finish my studies. Kasi parang you decided na to parang aalis ka na
Mhm.
sa responsibility ng magulang mo. And yun, it's not an easy path, pero if you have the will to finish it, you can be able to use yung passion mo sa paglalaro para yun din ang magiging instrument mo para makapagtapos ka ng pag-aaral.
Okay. So, ang sinasabi mo, meron kang will at alam mo sa isip mo na tatapusin mo din naman ang pag-aaral mo. So, it's not going to be a problem with your parents because you know that you're going to prioritize your education as well, right? That's what you're
Oo
saying.
naman.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think that's very, very, very remarkable for you. And you have been very successful in both being an athlete and as well as being let's say finishing your career as educator. And that's why the question for us is how were you able to holistically form yourself like an athlete, you become a professional, and how did you balance all of those? And of course you became a very good son, a very good brother. How were you able to balance like your time, discipline, resilience, the challenges of budget, knowing that we came from a community where we are financially challenged. So, what are the secrets, if there is any, that you want to share to all of us today?
Siyempre sa akin kasi yung parents mo makikita mo yung, alam mo yun, yung will nila na
Mm,
despite na hindi sila nakapag-aral, wala
mm,
silang education, pero alam mo yun, they have taken that responsibility talaga na they have children and they need to take good care of them no matter what, di ba? O
mm,
walang hindi nila binigyan ng reason yung responsibility nila para hindi nila magampanan.
mm,
And I'm very proud of that kasi syempre si mama si daddy hindi naman sila nakapag-aral eh. But
mm,
ang dami naming magkakapatid but they was able to find a way for us to, alam mo yun, kahit makapag-aral kami sa public. And as children kasi nakikita mo yung struggle nila eh.
mm,
Nakikita mo yung struggle nila and of course for you don't want na maranasan din ng mga magiging anak mo
mm,
the same hardship na kung kasi ganoon naman tayong parents, so gagawin talaga natin yung lahat ng bagay for our children to have a brighter future. So as early as young as I am, nakikita ko na yun. And alam mo yun, growing into an environment na kung saan sometimes you cannot deny na i-compare yung sarili mo sa iba
mm.
because they are well off and for you really need to make a way para magkaroon ka ng budget to buy what you like eh. So alam mo
Aha.
yun, lumalaki ka talaga na parang kailangan mong paghirapan lahat.
Mhm, mhm,
So you can never do that if you live na very undisciplined yung lifestyle mo.
mhm,
So sa akin talaga siguro naging way ko lang for me to be able to grow as a man. Uh, yung pagiging martial arts or yung mga values na natutunan ko sa parents ko and still na it ganun din naman ang naituro ng martial arts sa akin nung andun ako
Mhm.
sa martial arts. It's the same values like resiliency, di ba? Hindi
Mhm.
ka, kailangan matibay yung loob mo, hindi ka madaling sumusuko kahit, di
Mhm.
ba? Kahit natatalo ka, nanalo ka,
Mhm.
or
Meron
ano man yung, mm,
meron akong kailangang i-underscore din sa sinabi mo. Yung kanina sabi mo na alam naman natin na kahit ang magulang natin hindi nakapag-aral, 'di ba? Yung awareness mo na gano'n ang estado ng ating mga magulang ay napakahalaga din para sa iyong growth at sa iyong maturity
mm,
early on, 'di ba? And then
mm,
you're very candid at saying, eh, kailangan talagang paghirapan ng lahat ng bagay. And I think, 'di ba, parang it's like you want something, you have to work for it. If you
mm,
need something, you have to work hard for it, 'di ba? Parang
mm,
there's no free stuff in this world. Walang
uh,
libre. And I like it when you say that candidly kasi totoo naman, 'di ba? Parang
mm,
ano pa bang hirap ang mararanasan mo kung ikaw ay nasapak na siguro kasi
mm,
nagte-training ka na ano, na-injure ka na-dislocate na yung shoulders mo, na ano ka na, ang dami mo ng dinaanan. So parang sa'yo, parang ano pa bang hirap ang hindi ko kakayanin. And that's
mm.
very, very remarkable trait for a champion. Kaya nga lagi nating sinasabi na, sige nga tingnan natin, ang martial artist nga ba ay puwede nating may-apply lahat ng values niya sa ating buhay. And I think you're one of those who make it a reality in all aspect of your life. So in that, gusto ko lang malaman din, naniniwala ka ba na merong innate, yung sinasabi nilang nasa loob daw ng mga igurot ang pagiging warrior. Narinig mo na ba yun? Yung warrior spirit daw ng mga igurot. Is that a reality or kailangang hasain, kailangang dumaan sa dinaanan mo? Is it natural?
I think innate naman sa every human being yan yung
Aha, aha.
warrior spirit mo na yun, you need to survive. And syempre, specifically kasi sa amin, ng mga Igorot, yung ancestors namin, we are the unconquered one. Eh. We are the unconquered tribe dito sa Pilipinas. So, it comes with a price. Syempre, yung mga ancestors namin, they fight for the freedom that they have. Kailangan talagang may warrior spirit ka. And sa tribe din namin, syempre uso yung alam mo yun, mga tribal war ganon. So
Mhm.
you really need to fight for your own tribe. Kasi syempre if you don't do that, mauubos kayo talaga. So
Ah,
you need to protect your community. Kaya nga 'di ba kapag may nakuha sa tribe nyo or may pinatay sa tribe nyo, you need to your community need to make sure na may kapalit siya. So alam mo
mhm.
yun, I think it gives yung awareness sa bawat uh, mamamayan in that area to be a warrior talaga. Kasi syempre
That's
if you
true.
are not, wala. Hindi ka
Mhm, mhm.
magsasurvive. Hindi magsasurvive yung tribe mo.
That's right.
So, yun siguro, malaking factor din na naitulong sa akin as growing up knowing yung mga ganong uh, culture or mga tradition na pinagdaanan din ng mga ancestors ko.
Mhm, mhm. At, hindi lang actually sa ating community, 'di ba? Hindi lang sa ating tribe. Pero anong pakiramdam na lumabas ka and you have the Philippine flag? You're carrying it everywhere you go, in every victory. You are carrying the pride. You are, um, let's say, a patriot. So your warrior
Um,
spirit has gone into the national level and even in the global stage, diba? As you go to wherever you go, either you go south, north, east, west, kamakailan lang nasa New Zealand ka, nasa Qatar ka, pumunta ka ng Japan, and then pumunta ka ng America, you went to South Korea, China, and everywhere. You carry the flag of the Philippines. And to me, you're no longer carrying only your name as the
Mm.
landslide Folayang, diba? You're carrying the Philippines. So how does it feel having that responsibility on your shoulder? Ano sa iyo sa ngayong edad mo, 'di ba? Kasi nagsimula ka nung ikaw ay 16.
Mm.
Now, sa edad mo ngayon, looking back, um, what are you thinking now? Kasi dumaan ka na sa lahat eh, binandila mo na lahat ang Pilipinas. Sa kahit saan kang pumunta. So how do you feel now?
Um, Siyempre, hindi pa ako kasi yung alam mo yun, yung gusto mo, it's not only for the time being na parang you have represented your country well. Siyempre yung perspective ko ngayon as me myself, siyempre yun, alam mo yun, mas marami pa sanang Pilipino ang may ganong way of thinking to represent their nation in the highest stage in a way na alam mo yun,
Mhm.
na in a way na magiging proud yung mga kababayan mo. For now, it's very sad to see kung ano yung nangyayari sa nation natin. And alam mo yun,
Mhm.
it gives masakit din sa loob na parang nakikita na you are doing your very best para ma-represent mo yung nation mo in a way na your countryman will be proud, and then yun naman yung gusto mo na yun naman yung gusto ko talaga din na more na mga kabataan pa sana ang
Mhm.
makita nila yung may ko-contribute nila para sa whole nation natin kasi alam mo yun, ang sagit na parang pumupunta ka sa ibang bansa, and they have their own general term kapag sinasabi mong Pilipino ka eh. Kaya nga na-appreciate ko din talaga yung nagawa ni Manny Pacquiao kasi syempre, alam mo
Mhm.
yun, it gives a sense of significant ba kung sabihin mong Pilipino ka. So, naisip kagad nila si Manny. So, Manny had been able to do something that is significant para sa mga Pinoy, di ba?
Aha,
Pero kung
aha.
mga kalukuhan naman yung ginagawa natin, oy, alam mo yun, they will really judge us in a way na masakit pakinggan, and yet hindi mo naman may iwasan kasi it's the way we as a nation represent our own eh.
Mhm.
So sa akin talaga yun yung parang alam mo yun, yung legacy mo na hindi sana mag-i-stop sa'yo kundi it will continue to pass on to the next.
Okay. So pakinggan
Mm.
natin lahat 'yon. Ang gusto niyang sabihin, sana hindi matitigil sa kanya ang
Mm.
legacy ng pagrepresenta at pagbibigay-pugay, pagbibigay ng pride sa ating bansa.
Mm. Tama.
Sana mas marami pang kabataan ang ma-inspire. So, 'yan ang nagbibigay sa iyo ng lakas kaya nagkakaroon ka ng transition ano, sa pagiging martial artist. Ikaw na ngayon ay nagti-train ng mga bagong mga fighter or the young landslide. So, with all the problems in the Philippines, we know our country is so much divided at this time. And we know social media is also a problem because it's giving us a lot of fake news, or it gives a lot of noise that we no longer know what is the truth. So that's our struggle today, to really find and to surface the reality. So you as a leader now and as a mentor, how are you giving this message to the young generation? How are you building new waves of representatives, new waves of champions? We have,
Um,
I know that we have the landslide training center. So
mm.
how are you doing this with the challenges of social media, the challenges in the country economically, and other aspects of challenges? How are we still continuing with our mission to develop young artists or young martial artists?
Mm, yung yung isa kasi sa pinaka-importante din, you cannot you cannot teach without living it eh. So alam mo
Mm.
yun, pinaka-importante din talaga yung on how you can be able to model that thought, yung alam mo yun, yung principle na gusto mong ibahagi sa mga kabataan, kasi at the end of the day they are looking at your life eh.
Mm.
So alam mo yun, mas mas nakakaroon ng impact yung mga messages na gusto mong ibahagi if you are living that thought na gusto mong ibahagi. So alam mo yun,
Mhm, mhm,
yung challenge talaga.
mhm,
Yun yung challenge siya talaga ngayon, especially syempre sa time ngayon sa social media.
mhm,
Ang hirap i-regulate yung tamang information. Ang hirap i-regulate kasi there's a lot of sources ng knowledge sa mga kabataan
mhm.
ngayon.
That's true.
And it's very hard for you to regulate yung tamang information. Is it really the truth that they are accepting as the principle of their life? So talagang yung challenge doon talaga is you yourself na gustong mag-inspire sa kanila. You yourself should live that lifestyle na gusto mong ituro. So yun yung I think yun yung yun yung walang uh, yun yung way na kung saan mas makapag-inspire pa ako sa mga kabataan. It's
Mhm,
not that easy, pero people are always looking at you, especially if you want to give that inspiration na uh, makakapag-change sa kanilang buhay.
mhm, mhm. So for those younger generations who wants to come to your center and learn, um, how do you empower them in such a way that um, they will come to you and say, "Hey, we really admire you. We see you are a living example, and we admire what you're doing. Now, we want to come and learn into your program. Do you have any specific programs for these youth who are very interested but financially challenged? Because we know that martial arts require, number one, you have to get your gear, 'di ba?
Mm,
Kailangan meron kang means of transportation kasi from
mm.
their house to your gym. Or do you reach out to wherever they are? Ano bang ginagawa natin besides the having the gym in Baguio?
Yung ginagawa ko,
Mhm.
sa gym, especially yung term kasi namin sa mga cabs namin, yung mga upcoming mga athletes na may potential talaga, tapos may hilig talaga, may passion talaga sa martial arts. What
Mhm.
I do is that I give them a scholarship. Halos ang dami kong mga scholars na mga athletes sa gym. They are
Mhm.
not paying. Pero may kwan lang talaga ako sa kanila. May mga requirements din talaga ako sa kanila that
Uh-huh.
they can train for free in the gym.
Mhm.
They will be taught kung paano pa mas mahasa yung skill nila. Pero syempre, kailangan ko lang din talaga magbigay ng requirement that they need to accomplish. Especially yung mga yung pag-grow nila sa responsibility nila as an athlete.
Mhm.
Alam mo yun, yung parang they should balance their studies and
Mhm.
mas mag-grow sila on the way na binabalance nila yung studies nila at saka yung pag-grow nila sa skill set nila sa martial arts. Kaya yun, I think that's very important, yung may rule din. Um, And if they happen to break the rule a lot of times, then syempre, you need to give that privilege sa ibang mas, alam mo yun, ibang mas gusto talagang mag-grow.
Deserving.
Oo. Mas deserving. Kasi
Aha.
syempre, ayaw mo din naman talagang, alam mo yun, imbis na tinuturuan mo silang mag-grow sa character nila, and then hindi mo yun nakakitaan sa kanila. I think it's better for them to, it's better for you to give them something na pag-isipan nila.
Mhm. So, ibig sabihin ng code, kasama ba dyan yung, pag marunong ka na ng martial arts, simple lang, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin pag ikaw ay galit.
Oo
Pwede ba
naman.
yun? Halimbawa,
That's
pumunta sa gym, marunong na siyang mag-choke. Tapos pag na-trigger, lalo na yung mga bata ngayon, di ba, madaling ma-trigger sa social media.
It's a big no talaga yan sa gym. Kasi syempre, it's not about yung skill lang na matuturo mo sa kanila. Sa akin talaga ang mas priority ko yung growth ng character nila eh. Kasi yung skill naman matutunan mo yun kahit saan eh. Pero alam mo yun, yung mag-grow sila sa character nila, yun talaga ang priceless. Kasi syempre, they can use that in their life eh. Sa buhay nila, as they grow up, they can be able to appreciate yung values na natutunan nila sa gym in their life. And that's more important, more than the medals that they can be able to get sa mga competitions nila.
Okay. So, kailangan nating i-underscore yun. So, ang Landslide Flying Training Center ay tumatanggap ng mga scholars sa mga kabataan na interesadong magsanay sa mixed martial arts. Pero, kailangan na sila ay kwalipikado batay doon sa Code of Ethics ng Landslide Martial Arts, 'di ba? At ayon sa kanya, underscore natin yon, sabi niya, pwede kang matuto ng martial arts skills kahit saan. Pero ang character, uniquely Edward Landslide Fulayang, makukuha mo yan sa kanyang gym. And I think that is the legacy that we're trying to pass on to the next generation. Character building, as we always say, is the gem that trailblaze or that fuels your success. So, sana yan ang makita ng mga parents, para masuportahan din yung mga katulad mo. As early as 16 years old, isa ng national team. And sana katulad ng mga magulang mo na kahit hindi nakapag-aral, sasabihin, anak, kailangan kang maging martial artist, pero kailangan mo ding maging academically sound, di ba? Na magtapos ka rin ng iyong pag-aaral. Kaya nga tinatawag nating ang ating mga magulang ay ang pagiging isang mabuting magulang ay hindi nasusukat sa ikaw ba ay nakapag-aral, di ba? And your parents are proof of this statement. Yun.
Tama.
Yan. Kaya ngayon sa lahat ng mga nakikinig sa atin at sa lahat ng mga fans mo sa buong mundo, ano kayang mensahe ang maipapaabot mo sa kanila na related sa iyong rootedness, sa iyo bilang igurot? Meron ka bang hindi nasabi sa mga nakausap mo, nag-interview sa iyo na gusto mong sabihin ngayon? Kasi gusto ko talagang sabihin, special ito eh. Is there something special sa pagiging igorot warrior mo nga? Kasi sabi natin, okay, we know the experience that you had. There were tough losses, but there were winning moments that we have to celebrate. Ngayon, ang sabi natin ay, what keeps us on this level na lagi tayong grounded and we are up there, we are still standing strong. Ano kaya yun?
Ano ba? ang masasabi ko siguro sa mga kababayan natin, grow where you are planted. Kung saan tayo na ilagay ng Panginoon, then we need to grow in that area. Sana huwag tayong mag-settle. Just keep on improving and finding ways kung paano pa tayo mag-grow. Kasi it will benefit hindi lang tayo eh, but the people around us will benefit also from it if we do that, 'di ba? So yun lang, very 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 simple message, but if we try to grow where we are planted, I think the term na excellence, andyan yan eh. Andyan yan, and we can be able to be more effective, be more, mas nakakatulong pa tayo if we try to grow kung saan tayo nilagay.
Ang lalim. Gusto ko yun. Grow where you're planted and you thrive and all the people around you will thrive as well. Ang lalim
Oo.
nun. Kaya, ang huling tanong. Tungkol sa sinasabi nating susunod na kabanata. Anong ina-expect natin? Anong ina-expect namin? Mga fans kami. Anong ina-expect ng Pilipinas? And fans all over the world. What more can we expect of you?
Syempre sa akin kasi sa pace naman talaga ng buhay natin, may mga transitions ganun. So probably andun ako malapit na talaga ako sa transitioning phase. It's either I become a coach, trainer, or whatever. Pero alam mo yun, it's really a part of the process yun. And syempre, yung legacy na gusto nating maipasa sa mga sumusunod pang mga atleta, yun naman yung gusto nating ipasa. And I'm happy na, alam mo yun, nakikita ko si Joshua, a champion, and marami pang mga sumusunod sa kanila. Looking into dong mga Cubs natin na nakakuha ng medal sa mga national and local and national level ng competition, parang it gives you happiness na alam mo yun, na nasa tamang landas ka. So I think I am in the field of martial arts. So yun lang, still kung ano yung mas maitutulong ko pa in the level na hindi ka na nakakapaglaro, then I need to keep doing it.
Mhm. Pero maglalaro ka pa rin, di ba?
Oo naman, may
Aha.
may hindi pa tapos yung kontrata ko sa One. So yun, still competing. Maganda kasi kapag nakapaglaro ka, the more na pinupush mo yung sarili mo at the more na dinidiscipline mo yung sarili mo para gawin yung mga tama.
So how soon are we expecting another fight?
Probably this year.
This year, okay.
This year.
Okay. So all of us will look forward towards that. And we're all excited. Another another
naman.
spectacular fight for our champion. Okay. So meron ka bang mensahe na gustong sabihin, gustong i-promote, gustong ipagsabi sa ating mga nakikinig? Alam ko na wala pang nakikinig, pero marami nang nakikinig.
Yun, i-support nyo itong iPad niya. iPad
Kapwa
podcast.
Filipino,
Kapwa
Indigenous
Filipino.
Voices.
Ito.
Kapwa
Please support itong Kapwa Filipino
Indigenous Voices.
Indigenous Voices.
Aha.
Alam kong mas marami pa kayong matutulungan through those people na makapagbibigay ng kaalaman na experience nila sa buhay. So yun, and of course yun, laban lang. Ganun naman sa buhay. Laban lang. So yun lang, it's a very short message, but it will keep us on fighting sa life natin.
That's true. Very important message. Very important message. Maraming salamat, Edward. Maraming salamat din sa mga girls dahil hindi ka nila ginulo. They're very behave. Thank you for your time. So we have Edward, the landslide Fulayang, a former lightweight champion, our indigenous legend, Igorot warrior, and a friend, a brother. Thank you so much, Edward, and hope we will continue this conversation next time.
Thank you,
And
thank
good luck to all
you.
your endeavor, specifically the upcoming fight. We will look forward to a very good and entertaining fight for everybody. Because besides you playing that role, we also look forward to you getting stronger, getting more refined. What more can we ask from our champion? Thank you very much, Edward.
Thank you sa kapwa Filipino Indigenous Voices.
Thank you so much. Okay, until
All
next
right.
time, Edward. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness. No, I think I will have to. He's still there, right? Okay,
Oh, ano?
now. Um,
And say
May
Hold
katukol
on.
yung video.
thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll text.
I
you
think I
next
will have to
episode.
repeat that. Okay.
Okay. Go whenever you're ready.
If this, kung nagustuhan ninyo ang pag-uusap namin ni Edward, the landslide Fulayang, at may natutunan kayo sa mga indigenous knowledge, may natutunan kayo sa ibinahagi niya, please sundan at pakinggan ang podcast na ito. Ang pangalan ay Kapwa Filipino Indigenous Voices. Ito ang podcast ng Indigenous Path Foundation. Maraming salamat. Hanggang sa susunod. Thank you.